Hey guys, Trenton Allen here of Igneo Studios. I just got back from the McMurry theater production of Jake's Women by Neil Simon, and this one's going to be a quick one compared to my usual reviews with my brother and my roommate. So, what is the show about? Well, thankfully I have my handy dandy playbill here. If I can open it up. So basically, this show is about a guy who goes through psychosis. He's a writer, and he is constantly, I'm not gonna say tormented, but he's constantly visited by apparitions of women in his life, including his sister, ex-lovers, even his daughter. And the whole show is about 2 acts, about 2 hours. And this was and I'm gonna get straight into it. That's the whole show, pretty much, in a nutshell. It is a comedy, so it does end well. If you know theater, your theater history, if it is a drama, it does not end well. I should say tragedy. If it is a comedy, it ends pretty well. This ended pretty well. So, I'm gonna get straight into it. This show was phenomenal. From the this is gonna be a little over the place, but it'll be a quick one. Everything from the lights, the sounds, the set, the stage directions, from everything about this was of an insane amount of quality. And I'm not just saying that from my own personal bias, because I am part of the theater department myself. Even without the bias, this was still a phenomenal piece. I didn't help out as much as I should have. Been busy with all my other stuff in life, but I helped out what I could. We had mandatory work calls last 2 days. I did them, no questions asked. Even they're mandatory. Even then, even if it was optional, I would have gone and helped out. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off topic. Everything about this show is of an insane amount of quality. Like I said, the sounds were spot on. There was not many sound cues, but the ones that were there worked to a T. There was a voiceover on set. It was brilliant. From the lights were beautiful. They had brilliant colors to signify different things. Like I said, this show is about a guy going through psychosis. He is visited by apparitions, and then there's reality. Kind of like Inception, in a way. But the use of lights were used to signify where it was in his head or in reality. You had bright colorful lights, like green, orange, purple, to signify the different apparitions. Like, for example, his therapist was a more bluer color. His daughter, a green, a very lush green. His lovers, purple to pink. It was very colorful, and it really signified that. With reality, it was a soft orange, like a house light. It was very well done. Whoever designed the light, actually, let me see this. And I'm gonna shout out all these people. I will actually, and honestly, give this theater department the love it deserves. Support them. If you're in Abilene, check them out. Okay, I'll link their Instagram. I'll link their TikTok. I'll link as much as I can on this video. So, technical director L.W. Miller, fantastic. He's also my acting teacher. He's like one of our main teachers here. Fantastic job. You did a fantastic job, L.W. Artistic director Nina, who is just our resident wise director. She's fantastic. Stage manager, and here's the director, Matt Lamar. Love the dude. I get along with him very well. This was his senior project for for college, and this was fantastic. Matt, you guys watch this. Everyone in the theater department, you watch this video. You guys did a fantastic job. You guys did beyond anything I've ever seen. You guys keep leveling up. Keep this momentum going, and yeah. Set design, Bobak. I know I didn't get to see you this show because you had stuff to do, but you watch this, man. personal shout out to you, man. That's your set design was mwah, icing on the cake. It was so well designed. It was chaotic, but it served the purpose. It got into the mind of the character of Jake, which is Jake's woman. Everything from the sound, the lights. Who was the sound designer? Joe. You did fantastic. You did phenomenal. Great job. And all the operators, Roberto Rueda, Kelton Verman, Lee Neighbors as the running crew, Maddie Melbourne as assistant director and stage manager, Lauren Scott for costume, light designer Matt. Not only were you the director, you were the light designer? Bro. Man, everyone, props master, Dalton Martinez, all these guys, give them the love and support they need. You guys did fantastic. I can't say it enough. As far as technical goes, I just gushed all over it. As if I were to just base this show off to technical, it'd be a soaring 10 out of 10, and that's without my bias. With my bias as a theater department person, that it'd be an 11. That's how I would see it. Now, if you guys know me, it's not just about the technical stuff that I care about. I care about how is the writing of the show, how are the acting, how did everything come together as a story? What did I think of the story? If you guys remember me, remember my Rings of Power review, I said that it does look good. However, the show is not good. It's not. Because good visuals, good technical does not automatically make a good show. So, how is it here in this in this college theater production of a show by Neil Simon, who's known for his brilliant pieces? Everything was spot on. I can't say it enough. Everything about this, from the actors, the acting in this show, almost made me cry. Actually, as a matter of fact, before making this video, I gave my parents a call because this show deals with a bit of parent issues, and it made me think of my parents, and I called them because I love them so very much, and this made me want to do that. I call them every day anyway because they made me who I am, and this really hit me in the heart for it. Let's go through the cast real quick. Jake, the main character, played by Matt Marin, and I'll gush over that in a second. Maggie, Gracie Melbourne. Karen, his sister. Maggie is actually his second wife. Yada yada. Karen, Jake's sister, is played by Victoria Picon. Please, Victoria, don't kill me if I mispronounce that. Edith, the therapist, by McKenna Arispe. Please don't kill me, because I don't know your last names very well. Molly, the daughter, is actually played by two people, because in the show it goes by two ages, age 12 and age 21. Molly at age 12 is played by Abby Ewing, and Molly at age 21 is played by the costumer Lauren Scott, who also did Belle in our Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast, I was also part of the ensemble on that. That's a whole other thing. Just want to give a quick shout out. If you did see that, that's who. Julie, the first wife, is played by Tabitha Wilson. And Sheila, the other, basically, I'm not going to say a side chick, the recent girlfriends during the show. I'll get into it in a second. By Abby Brown. Every one of these cast members, you guys did a phenomenal job. Every one of these people has a lot of talent. They're some of the most talented and dedicated people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. And it really shows here. They did a fantastic job with this. Matt Marin as Jake was very endearing. You could definitely see the psychosis in his character and how he acted. From the actors themselves, from the acting. Like I said, the acting nearly made me cry. It doesn't get me much to cry. The last movie I cried at was Logan, the Marvel movie, and that made me cry. This was that good. The acting here was that endearing for me. Like I said, it could be my personal bias weighing in on this analysis, but even without my bias, it was that good. Like, because this show is going on from tonight, as of recording this video, to Saturday night and then a Sunday matinee. I would have planned to watch all three of these. However, I can't watch the Saturday one because I work, but Sunday I definitely can. Because after the Sunday matinee show, we're doing a strike and theater majors are required to do so. And that's just great. I get to see it one more time because I get off work at the time it starts at 2 o'clock. So that's like perfect timing for me, at least. However, is there anything bad about this show that I can think of? I can't really think of anything else. Like I can get into the whole how different is it from like Broadway productions of it, and I can't do that. I haven't seen a Broadway production of this show, nor have I seen any other productions of this show. I've only seen this one, and from what I saw, this production, made by these brilliant people that I've had the pleasure to work with, is beyond top tier. So, from the technical to the actual directing to from the actual acting, the writing, it's Neil Simon. He's known for making this stuff deep but also comedic. He has great comedic beats. Like, comedic beats will kind of go on and off, and it's so good. He also does really good serious stuff. I was actually part of a production during my community college days of his Brighton Beach memoirs. I played the character of Stanley, the older brother of Eugene, the main character. And that was a fantastic show. I loved the writing. And the writing in this show is very well done. I love stories where apparitions are in the background. They give their input on the reality of a situation, even though the person, because Jake is the only one that sees them, because it's all in his head. No one else can see them. And it's so interesting. It was such an interesting story, because all these apparitions, all these ghosts in his head, they say what he thinks, because he writes them. He goes on to a monologue about this, and it's very interesting when they kind of go off his own script. One of the scenes is with an apparition of his daughter and his first wife, Julie, who have never really had a conversation, and they have this very natural conversation. It's like they went off his headcanon, and he was baffled at it. And it was so immersive for me on that. It was so. I love stories with there's a invisible force character on the sidelines connected to the main character that gives its own input, and it's like a back and forth between the two. Like, for example, Shadow of Mordor, one of my favorite games, Shadow of War included. It does that technique very effectively, and it does it very well. It reminded me of this show reminded me of that game in those moments. So, like I said, this show has a lot of things going for it. Like I said, the ghost stuff, I love. I love the revelation, the realization of his inner demons, of his internal conflict, and he gets over that. He overcomes it throughout the show. And I think it's very well done here. And Matt Marin's acting, everyone's acting in this is beyond phenomenal. I could definitely see the natural sense of fear, happiness, sadness, rage. It was so well done. So, I can't say anything else about this show. If I can nitpick, it's just nitpicks. It's like I can forgive, even if it's a nitpick, it's like the smallest thing, I can forgive it. Like some of the pacing at times, like I'm not complaining about that. that's something that's actually not what I'm nitpicking about. But it's so minute that I can't nitpick. It is that good. So, what is my final rating? If you're all wondering, this production of Jake's Woman by Neil Simon from McMurry Theater Department of the McMurry University gets a resounding 10 out of 10. I don't give 10 out of 10s often. And every show that this department has done has been a top tier show. Except for like a couple, in my opinion. They weren't the best. As a matter of fact, we at the department, one of the shows we did, we call it The Play That May Not Be Named. It was one of those. Regardless, this show is a resounding 10 out of 10. If you're in the Abilene area, go see the show while it's still being shown. If you missed it today, Friday night, see it tomorrow night and Saturday night, and see it in the Sunday matinee. Give these people the support, the love that they deserve of their dedication, because they deserve it. They've earned it. I'm not gonna say they deserve it. They earned it. So please give them a big old welcoming surprise visit if you're in the Abilene area, and yeah, guys, go enjoy it, man. And that's about it for this video. Like I said, this was a bit quick because I didn't have much to say, because this isn't a main discussion one. And yeah, see you guys in the next one I have planned is Wednesday from the Netflix series with Grayson. I remember talking about that briefly, mentioning that in my YouTube short of my updates. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Trent now, Big Neil Studios, out.